introduce our panel of speakers today. So the entire discussion once again is many questions that bother working mothers, and our the real thing that we want to talk about is that what you don't get to learn in MBA colleges can be simply taught by working mothers. We have Namrata joining us. Namrata also, she's a talent development expert, over 13 years of experience in the field of learning, development, talent management, people, HR, and she is also a specialist in coaching women who are trying to come back into work. Namrata, hi. Namrata?
Hi Ajay, glad to be here.
Yeah, Namrata, very quickly, so you meet a lot of, what is the main impediment which stops women from coming back into work after after the children have grown to probably 1 year or 2 years? What is the key challenge that they face coming back into a career?
Yeah, I think interestingly, and we found this through a survey we recently conducted of working mothers, what women really want is flexible structuring of their workday. They are really looking at the ability to take a varied level of responsibility as and when their schedule permits, and the ability to take time off as and when required for as long as it is required. Now, obviously, it is a very tall order for any organization to be able to craft roles which are able to meet all of these requirements, and I think that becomes the biggest impediment for women, even though they might really want to get back to their regular work lives after having children, but because the way organizations are structured, the way roles are structured, they are not necessarily carved around these three requirements. Women end up having to make the decision of quitting and hence, either start up something on their own or are into freelancing or are just at home, trying to figure out what they should be doing.
Okay, and I know that there is this fascinating concept that we discussed about during our conversations going into this webinar, and I want to spend some time on that later in the webinar so that all of our participants who are joining us live right now and who will be listening to the recorded version of this webinar can go through that. Thanks, Namrata.
Sure.
So the first thing that we wanted to discuss is multitasking, and I know that there is nobody better in the world to learn multitasking than from working mothers. The very interesting discussion going around time management and managing conflicting priorities. Question to you is that you work with a lot of women who are coming back from childbirth, starting their career back again. What do you think are the key? We already spoke about this a little bit, but what do you think are the key things that women need to start doing when they are looking at that career transition?
Yeah, I think this continues to be a topic of hot interest amongst all working women, and I think what we have really found is that there emerge three top things, if you were to look at prioritizing them, that women end up doing. The first is many of them opt for working for fewer hours, which might mean that they choose to do part-time work, but essentially the idea is not to go back into the same stressful environment, because as we heard Deepa say, the need is really for women to multitask, and you do need to establish a system which is able to support your life once you have children. The other thing that women tend to do is essentially utilize their past experiences. So either they would negotiate for other roles, or in some cases even quit to start their own business, because at the end of the day, what remains key of key importance is really their family and their children. The third thing, which is again an interesting trend that we are seeing, is that women are really looking at using education as a way of enhancing their knowledge while they are on a career break, and it might be an extended leave of absence from their company, or it might be the fact that they have quit and they are now preparing for a new career. So apart from the planning that we heard about when Deepa was talking about managing life post having children, I think these are really the top three trends that we are seeing women resort to be able to manage their lives much better. And the other thing I do want to say is that one of the things that we often don't spend enough time on is to think about life afresh. So having a child is really an opportunity to press the restart button and to be able to then say, okay, now I have some time to think about what is it that I really want to be doing. Do I even want to continue to do this kind of work? Because magic happens when you have a child, and your priorities change, your world changes, your focus changes, what gives you happiness changes. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for women to sit back, to think about what is it that's really of value to me, and how do I design my life in such a way that I'm able to be happy every day, rather than look for happiness in just some select moments which are left over at the end of the day when I really don't have the time or energy to think about anything.
Namrata, tell us about this concept, my life, my design. We already spoke a little bit about it, but please help everybody understand this concept a little more.
Sure. So like I said, a great opportunity for women, especially post-motherhood, to really think about what is it that they would like their life to live like. And let me, take some time to walk us through some three simple steps which, we can do ourselves or with the help of a coach to figure that out. The first is really to be able to discover yourself. And by that, I mean asking yourself questions relating to what kind of a person are you? What are the things that excite you? What is it that, I really want? Also, another critical question to answer is, at the end of the day, what is it that gives me most happiness and is of most value to me? The next step really is to be able to document our dream life, and by that I mean, either pictorially, you just draw up something or sketch something or write down, what is your ideal week going to look like, and then look at if that's really the kind of person you are, if that's really what your dream life is, then what does it mean if you were to bring that to reality and hence design your life? And interestingly, this might at some point in time even involve asking yourself the question, are you staying in the right place? Is this the right city for you? Is this the right kind of work schedule for you? Are you in the right relationships? It does involve a fair bit of tough questioning, so to say, but at the end of it, what emerges is a beautifully crafted life which is certain to give you sustainable happiness.